All right, don't forget to now set it up so you can see the chat on the side.
Yes, and I'm sharing online here real quick for those watching us
Okay.
live. Man, I got to sit down and watch that intro again sometime because every
I
time
threw it together, man.
I know, but every time I go, okay, well, I recognize the Superman, and I need to just try to see what all you put in there.
Some of it I have no idea. I was just pulling like weird sci-fi and stuff like that. What was it was supposed to be all stuff that was free and no copyright on it. That was my big deal, was no copyright.
Yeah, because I think you threw that together even before we did the Mikey Mason intro and stuff on the podcast.
No, this is
was that after?
Oh, you might be right. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But the Mikey Mason, what we were doing with that one, I thought mostly we were using that as a holding music.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But anyhow, here and we're there. So I'd say lots to talk about. I know you've got lots to talk about tonight. I'm sure there's.
Heck yeah, CES is going, man. I got tons to talk about.
We've been down for 2 weeks because of we landed on New Year's and on Christmas.
Yeah.
And so there's plenty. I'm sure we could talk about, no problem. I didn't plan on getting a lot done because I figured we'd talk a lot, and Cookie would be here. If you're looking down below, it says Cookie's here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me change that really quick.
Well, in fairness, I didn't give you much notice. Cookie, today is Cookie's birthday. So happy birthday. But he is at home, not because it's his birthday, but because he's got a horrible toothache and can't talk. So,
I bet his wife is happy about that.
Huh?
I bet Angie's happy about that.
Oh, yeah.
Can't talk?
Yeah, I called him. He could barely talk on the phone. And it sucked because, like I told you, I was going through my art studio. So I found tons of stuff from when we were kids, miniatures, comic books, stuff like that. And I'm telling him, and I don't want to say he could have gave two shits because he was really interested, but it's just like, this is not a conversation for now. So he's out tonight. But yeah, well, there's still plenty to talk about. DC's made announcements. You're saying the
CES Consumer Electronics Show, where all the new techie stuff is being demoed for the year. And so there's lots of cool stuff. And there's other announcements that happened outside of that as well. Yeah. So lots of stuff.
All right. And I'm opening up my chat here now so I can chat with people if they come on. I'm hoping. Always got to learn how to use this every time I get back on.
It should be over on your right-hand side below people. It says chat. Yep, then across the top, live stream chat.
Gotcha.
All right.
So, how's Ash doing today?
I'm doing well. It is cold as shit in this old house with no insulation.
Yeah, for those who don't know, we're in the middle of Kansas. See our excitement about it.
Yeah.
We've been snowed in. We've been getting, I don't know, I'm sure you've got them in Wichita. We're about 20, 30 miles from each other. So I've been getting announcements saying, don't go out. Most of the businesses around here have been closing down. My son does deliveries and stuff, and they've barely been going into work lately.
Oh, man, he should bundle up and get in the old Jeep.
Yeah. Old CJ7 popping around down.
Yeah, no top, no nothing on it. He just should seriously just Carhartt bundle up and go for it.
Well, I told him tips should be great, and people have been real nice. But it's also one of those things that I don't know how many times out here at our street we live by a park, so there's about a block of where people decide, oh, now's a good time to rev the engine and scoot on by. And I don't know why they think that, just because there's no houses, but there is a park with kids in it,
Oh, yeah.
So they do that. So I've heard people skidding on the street out here last couple of days. I don't know how many times. And then I always run out, make sure they don't hit my car.
The street I live on is one of the straight shots to get up on the canal route, to get up on the highway. And so there's so many people, especially on warm summer evenings and stuff like that, people just go like a bat out of hell down this street because it's a one way and it just wow. And so occasionally you'll see the cops just kicking back, scooping up the fish that decide to go fast down the street.
See, I'd love it if they came set out here and just watched. But that's the
Yeah.
old man in me. Like me 10 years ago would have been sons of bitches don't need to be over by my house. But now, yeah, sit out there. I'm cool with it.
Well, I remember at one point I'd gotten a pellet gun, and because of the very, very bad feral cat problem around my house. I mean, at one point I was live trapping them, and I had a new cat to hand off to the Humane Society every day for like 2 or 3 weeks. They were just every day I came home, there was another cat in the trap. And so one night I was like, oh, I got this new pellet gun. I'm going to step outside. It was nighttime. I'm going to step outside and, and nail me that cat that's, singing the song of its people out on my front porch. And so literally I open up the door and I step outside with this. It looks like a rifle. All right. And I step outside with this, and half a block away is a cop sitting on the side of the road looking right at me. And I'm just back into the house, shut the door. Because even though it is a pellet gun, it's illegal to even fire a pellet gun in town.
Yeah, a lot of them are the same as a 22 caliber rifle. We've had that. Yeah.
But no, other than that, doing good here. I'm sitting in the new chair my wife got me for Christmas. I've rearranged the studio some.
I was saying it's been nice to see your studio because I still have yet to make it to your house, and I should. I have so many goodies here for you, man. Let's see. I was telling Ash before the show I'm cleaning out my art studio upstairs, which I've hit this horrible bout of just depression and letting stuff pile up. So I come down to my office and work, and I just let the art studio pile. So I'm going through and finding tons of stuff, but I got all these cool Star Trek.
Oh wow, that is awesome sauce.
That's a canvas one. I got books, comic books, it's all out of you're going to get comics that are like number 7, number 12, number 17, nothing in order, but
you know what number I don't have? None. Any of those.
Well, and in fairness, I found a whole bunch of, there's one too, just books.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I call those official fan fiction.
Official fan fiction. There's Kelly. Hey, Kelly, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, killer?
What was I going to say? Oh, and also I found a stack of, I don't know where I got them, but Spider-Man 2029s or 2099s.
2099s.
Yeah.
Now worth slightly more than toilet paper.
Yeah. I got number 2 through 10, and I'm like, I full well know Daryl's going to have these, but if not,
I've got most of them. I've got most of the entire, or at least for the first year or two of all the 2099s.
Okay.
I mean, everything, everything, the Hulk, everything they came out with, I have them upstairs.
Okay. I know I was trying to pick some up for a while, and then it got to be like quarter bins. You pick them up.
Oh yeah.
99s.
Yeah. Then it was, it went from quarter bins to, if you go ahead and buy a real comic book, we'll give you the entire series of this. Yeah.
Well, now Spider-Man 2099 was in the new animated, and I don't know if you played Marvel Rivals at all, which is their new.
Ganon has, yeah.
Okay, we've been playing that over here, and a number of those characters are 2099 characters, which I never thought I would have saw.
Interesting thing on the 2099, on the Marvel Rivals, I saw this guy on a reel. He was testing the limits because it's supposed to be free. You can say anything you want, but apparently you can't say anything against the Chinese government or pro-Taiwan on it. If you try typing in free Taiwan or anything like that, it's no, you can't say that. No, you can't say that. Yeah, you can't say anything that goes against the Chinese rhetoric on this Marvel thing. You can't even type in Tiananmen Square.
Remember way back when we started this podcast and politics and geek shit didn't mix, and now there's so much shit we don't talk about because there's politics in it.
Oh God, crazy. Yes, yeah, it is. It's put its slimy little clutches into everything.
Yeah,
but
no, I've been enjoying Rivals. They just if anybody has played it, it's a.
So what do they got? What do they got? Miles Morales doing? No,
he's not
Miles Morales.
He's not in it yet, I don't believe.
Okay, Miles Morales is not in, but Miguel O'Hara is the 2099 guy.
Right, he's the 2099. I think of the Spider-Man characters from the Spider-Verse. They've got Penny Parker, who is Spider-Man's daughter from another dimension. They've got
Okay.
Peter Parker. They've got Venom. I swear they had one other spider.
They got
But they
to have
also-
Spider Pig.
No Spider Pig, not yet. But
No,
they
no
were-
Spider Pig.
I think they said they were going to like announce a new character every quarter, or like 2 new characters every quarter or something. And for the first
Okay.
quarter, they just leaked, I think, 12 characters. And like they're bringing in all of the Fantastic Four. I mean, you look at it and you can tell about half the characters are there to promote the new run of movies coming out. So, you know, I'm excited about it. It's been nice because it gets Gabe and Diego, my boys, here to talk Marvel characters a little more. So, like, they're over here talking to me about Moon Knight and characters I like that people didn't give a shit about before. So,
no,
I like
no,
that.
they didn't.
but they've also they've added new characters into it that I've never heard of. So it's kind of nice when they pop up. I can't remember. There's 2 characters on there I hadn't seen before, and the boys are telling me all about them. So I'm learning new shit. But you know, that don't take much anymore. So
Yeah, anymore. I find that I'm not out of the loop. I just don't care about the loop.
I think before it was, and I've actually talked about this the last couple of weeks. Before the loop, like the geek culture, like Kelly's on here. He's a good guy to know. Like I used to go up to his shop and we would just talk geek stuff all the time, because there's also just not a ton of people to talk about unless you're at a convention or something. Now,
Right.
everybody, and granted, it's been this way for a decade, but everybody's seen Marvel movies. Everybody's read some kind of comic. They've watched some kind of the cartoon version, or
More than a decade now.
more than a decade. But for the last decade, it's been pretty solid.
Yeah. We went to the first Spider-Man movie like a year or so. I mean, not Spider-Man, but the first Iron Man movie a year or so before Ganon was born. And he's 15 now.
Well,
so it's been
about
16 plus years, man.
Yeah, it's been about 15 years. The Marvel Endgame was 10-year mark from Iron Man to
really? Yeah.
Endgame. So yeah, it's been a while now, but
and then they went off the cliff.
Well, just like I was saying too, with all the new stuff that's come out, with me going through that art studio upstairs, I was saying I was getting rid of shit. There's some stuff I've kept because it was real rare back in the day, but really so much of the stuff that I've collected over the last decade or so, I mean, they just make so much of it. It's all just for, it's not really collectible. It's they're just producing stuff. And even when they say
pseudo collectible market,
pseudo collectible.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's the same with those pop things.
Oh
those
Funko Pops. Yeah,
I
the
hate
Beanie
those
Babies.
things. Yeah, I mean, and literally, with the last flea market we went to, the one down at Century 2, it was cripes. I don't know how many booths, probably like 4 or 5 booths were just Funko Pops.
Every convention full of Funko Pops, and I'm not talking bad on them. A lot of my friends.
I mean, if it's your deal, go for it. But
I
it's
bought
like Beanie Babies.
I bought 3 Funko Pops in the last 3 weeks. I don't even like Funko Pops. My therapist, you go into his office, thousands of them. But me, I bought, because like Christmas special, they had some Ghostbuster Christmas Funko Pops, and everything went 75% off. So it's like, for $3, I'll get me a fucking Slimer and Venkman Funko Pop. Or I ordered a long shot one off of the internet, but I waited until it had sold, and then nobody gave a shit anymore, and it went down in price, and I got it for like $4.
That's the best way to
long
do it.
shot. I don't give a crap about the Funko. It just goes on my little long shot shelf with all that stuff, you know.
I know, like Gannon and Jessica will get me, like, you know, because they're, you know, looking for gifts to get me for whatever, you know, event. Like this one here. They got me this Funko Pop. It's got the Spider-Man 2099 and Spider-Man India in it.
Oh.
Yeah, never heard of that one.
Hold it up close. I don't know if I know Spider-Man India. There's so many Spider-Man. Okay.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me get that light out.
I wouldn't be surprised if I hadn't seen that in animation or a comic book, and just because anymore there's a Spider-Man for everything.
Multiverse. Are Funko Pops supposed to be bobbleheads?
They have bobblehead Funko Pops, yeah.
Oh, these are bobblehead ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
shows you how much I know about Funko Pops.
Well, come to think about it, I don't recall that I have ever seen a Star Trek Funko Pop. Do they make
Well,
them?
and see, that's one of the things too. Is like with Star Trek, you don't see any Lego Star Treks, but there's like other Duplo Blicks and stuff like that because Lego didn't have the franchise. But from what I understand, Lego is getting the license to make Star Trek, and from what I understand, the scuttlebutt in the horrible geek community that I'm in with Star Trek is that there is going to be released on Black Friday a Enterprise D Star Trek with over 3,000 bricks in it.
That'd be cool, but that's
I know.
expensive.
I'm starting up my savings now.
Yeah, I actually got to post up pictures. Christina put because they Mega Bloks did the Pokemon ones, and you guys had got Christina the giant Pokemon Pikachu for her birthday, and she just put that together because she also did a Charizard too that's off-brand like that. But Kristen says I only have a few Funkos that were gifted, or I bought them to go with the ones I was gifted. Like I couldn't have Han Solo without Chewie. No,
It's a must.
Yeah, there is no Han Solo without Chewie. Chewie is what. Without Chewie, Han Solo would be worthless. I mean,
there's no Butch Cassidy without the Sundance Kid.
Yeah, I love. Chewie's just my guy. I always tell people I'm a good Chewbacca because everybody says that oh yeah, you're out here doing this and this and this, and you should run that thing and you should put this game together. And I'm like, people don't understand. I'm a Chewbacca. I'll let Ash put that shit together. I'll let somebody else put that shit together. I'll show up and I will co-pilot that shit to no end. But a lot of times I end up being the guy putting it together. And I don't want to be Han Solo. I want to be Chewbacca. I want to be the mysterious.
Han Solo don't put anything together. Han Solo shows up. He looks cool. All right. He pulls something out of his ass and then he struts around like he was, the Primo Supreme. I do a good Han Solo.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say Cookie does a great Han Solo because he's that guy who comes in right when everything's done. And he goes, hey, I'm here to help. And everybody's like, we got it. Hey, we saved the day, guys. Let's go get donuts.
Now, I think for the putting together and keeping everything going, I think you're thinking of a Lando. Lando is good with that.
I could give you that. Yeah, I mean, Lando running a whole damn city.
Cloud City.
Yeah. And it wasn't like there was a big, long time in there from when he was a gangster to having Cloud City. I mean, that was a short amount of time.
Because they tried to encapsulate Han Solo's entire life in one frickin' movie.
Hey, I will still stand by. I enjoyed Solo. I enjoyed that movie. And anybody in the chat, feel free to comment because I think that movie was done dirty. I think it could have been better, but I think it was done dirty.
I think that they needed to do the opposite of what they. I mean, I think that Han Solo, that the Solo, it needed to have a Bilbo Baggins. All right, where Bilbo Baggins should have been 2 movies, but they made it 3. Han Solo, they only made 1. It should have been 2 or 3 movies.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right.
And I could see them. I don't know. I could talk about it all day. We should do our geekasms and stuff.
Yeah.
We're gonna run down the store. Kelly said he went to Badass Toy Auction, Missouri on 28th. I believe if that's the one you did video of, Kelly, I think I watched that or watched part of your video on that too. Damn it. Because I know I say it every time. Right now on Etsy, there are so many He-Man 3D models for like $150. They're all on sale. And
you mean the STLs or the actual models?
Yeah, the STLs.
Yeah.
And
I need to get that one that you sent me
because I wanted to talk a little bit about the He-Man movie stuff because last time we were on, we talked about Mattel ditching all their movies. They're still going forward with the He-Man deal, and now they're
they need to get on that while the nostalgia is still good because us Gen Xers who are going to be the ones paying the money to see that shit, we're starting to get old enough that we're like, I don't give a crap anymore.
That's my fear. That's why I was talking about selling a lot of that stuff up in my studio because I mean certain things like I'm sure Turtles will stick around a long time because they were able to get those new audiences. Ghostbusters is trying. They're trying, but it's just like Star Trek's a great example. Star Trek's one of those that really relies on that fan base of our age. and
Hmm.
they're trying to get new people. And I watch a lot of the news on what they're doing. Um, I did start watching Lower Decks again so that I could get,
Oh yeah,
because I'm trying to get into the Star Trek mood, partially because of you, partially
thank
because
you.
we've been watching Young Sheldon a lot, and boy, he when he talks Star Trek, I want to go, yeah, you're right, damn it, like I want to talk with him, but there's nobody to talk about. I've just been out of that stuff for so long. Kelly says He-Man's gonna suck. I believe you're right, but
I believe
Kelly's
you're
a
right
little
as
more than
well.
I am. That's his jam right there.
Well, I'd like to point out that at no point has there been a good He-Man movie.
Well, they've only done as far as live action, they've only done the one, I believe,
I thought they did two.
with Dolph Lundgren.
One with Dolph Lundgren
But,
and one that was so bad it was like straight to video,
oh,
which
maybe
was
they did.
almost the Dolph Lundgren one. Uh,
Kelly would know. I know with the Dolph Lundgren one, they didn't have the rights to all the characters, which was a problem. They didn't have the rights to all the storyline, which was a problem. It was a Della. I can never say the name right. Della Renchate. Fucking movie, that director. Uh, so they cut his budget at the end. He lost pretty much the whole final take of the movie. That movie had struggles like on every aspect of it. I feel bad like just picking on the movie because it had no chance of success.
they're doing Earth thing. What's a Earth thing?
So they're going to be on Earth instead of Eternia, I would guess. Just
So they're
like
doing the same thing as Dolph Lundgren.
yeah, it's Dolph Lundgren's. That's going to be my guess is what he's talking about. Yeah, because I
I
thought they had
mean,
canceled it, and then I saw videos come up because I was watching all the releases for DC stuff this week.
it's. I mean, that's one of my things. Like with a lot of these is you have an entire IP to play around in. Why are you constraining yourself to bringing it down to like Earth or like with Star Trek you have an entire IP? How come you just everything's got to be revolving around Spock and Kirk and all of this crap?
It's
All
just
right.
like Transformers. We complained about that because every Transformers movie there was something special. Earth was this little rock and nowhere. It's a nowhere planet according to them.
Yeah.
Yet all their special shit in every movie was there. Like that's where they had to
How
land. That's where their ancestors happen to be. That's where the Allspark happens to be. Everything just happened to go to this little rock. And my two favorite movies are
and
both
how
on
did they get
Cybertron.
here and not die from colliding with all the pieces of Krypton that seems to have landed on this fucking planet?
Yeah, you watch Smallville, you'd think half the planet landed on us.
Yeah.
God, that gets me to hold that. See, I could go off on a tangent because I watch Michael Rosenbaum stuff. Because it sounds like they might be bringing Michael Rosenbaum, who played Lex Luthor in Krypton, or in
Yeah.
they might be bringing him into the new DCEU. Which, man, I would hope they'd bring him in as Flash because he voiced Flash for like 10 years.
No,
But
no.
I don't know what. So I'll
All
get
right,
to that when
so-
we're talking about DC shit.
Geekgasm. I finally finished my first 1/650 ship, so it's a little bit bigger. All
I
right,
almost
and
look like a gun while you're holding it.
what? But this one was it was a kit that was called what is it? Build Together, where it had
Oh.
both a 1000 and a 650, and it's actually makes sense financially because this kit was like $35 or so, and the 650 kit and the 1000 kit purchased separately is like $70.
Oh.
And so but there are problems. It is the original 1970s build, so it's got this crappy stand, and it's
Yeah.
not the best.
You can always make your own stand. I saw Chris and Alan made their own stands for some of theirs. They were
Oh
showing
yeah,
me.
I mean, but I've got other 1650s back there that I'm building. Like right now, I'm working on the Klingon D7 one, so it's going to be a big boy.
Oh shoot, yeah.
And so I'm having fun with these. But yeah, but my other geekgasm is I got us a new. I'm Star Trek. Sorry, I got us a new Star Trek game that they just came out with this past month. It's a brand new game. It's Star Trek Into the Unknown.
That's a
And look at the
big
size of those models.
Yeah, they're huge.
Yeah,
For those
and-
listening on the audio version, those are a good 10 inches across, 12 inches
Oh,
long.
no.
Maybe? No, not that long.
Hold on. you're making me wonder now. Let me see. The Dominion battle cruiser is, wrong way, is about 7 inches across and 6 or 7 inches long, and the Galaxy class is big enough. Sorry, the Galaxy class is big enough that the saucer section actually detaches. All right, but it comes with the Dominion battle cruiser and 2 scout ships on that, and it comes with the Galaxy class and a Defiant class and a Constellation class ship. But the thing is like where the one that we played before, which was Attack Wing, that one is basically just go in, shoot each other, and that's basically it. I mean, there's a couple missions you can run theoretically.
Yeah,
this one is all.
That's a standard tabletop kind of game where the miniatures were probably, 1.5 inches long kind of thing. These are huge. These are.
I know, and this is more mission based. You can win by scoring points by doing stuff, through diplomacy and things like that. So, where in my analogy, if the Attack Wing stuff, the X-Wing or the Star Wars Attack Wing stuff, if that was a Risk, then this is more like Axis and Allies.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot more stuff, and I haven't been able to play it yet because I got it, last week, and then I was going to get together with Sean Bjorn and we were going to play it this weekend, and then the weather hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we did not go do that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was my geekasm, getting that and finishing the 650 and basically redoing the craft room so I can like now I've got the big monitor up and I've got it mounted on a swing arm so I can swing it in and out so I can do these podcasts and stuff like that.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. I want to see that because I've got that right up here. My TV is like that where it swings out, and I tend to never use it because when I get in here to work, the TV becomes audio. So I listen to it. I don't even turn to look, so it doesn't matter if I swing it out or not.
Well, and see with Gannon, I got for Christmas, he got a new desktop gaming computer. And so I took the old one, which, it's 5 years old. It still only can run Windows 10. It can't run Windows 11. And I cleaned it all off and I'm using that now. And I've got it all tied into my printers. And so I'm able to do all that because I'm not trying to do high-end gaming like he was doing. And so it's all good. It'll last another 5 years.
Well, I'd say my geekasm, similar to yours. I cleaned up like you did, cleaned up my that we all got snowed in. So I said, oh, well, this will be a good time to get caught up on emails and prints. I printed, like a huge Tripoli board for Christmas, which Tripoli's like.
Oh, yeah, you talked about that.
And I did a bunch of kits that I had started. I was like, oh, sit down, I'll paint. So I spent about a day and a half of just painting and putting stuff together, kind of clear the mental, which meant I still started having kits that were, square foot size kits. I got nowhere to put them. Like I was going to put them up in my art studio. So I decided I need to go clean the art studio. And I had not really gone through my art studio in a couple years. Like I use it. I go in there, I put stuff in there. I'll go in there and do like a live feed every once in a while. But I started digging through stuff and it was like Christmas almost, like going through stuff that I forgot I owned, stuff I forgot I bought, stuff people had given me. I was throwing stuff away. I almost threw away a signed copy from T'Pol. He played the scientist in Flash Gordon. Really, really fucking tough. I had it. Zarkov, yeah. And I had his autograph. I pick it up and I go to throw it away and I was like, I better look at that first. Sure enough. And I told you some mice had got into some rare stuff I had. I found a whole bunch of posters and paperwork. I used to keep like every convention, probably from the late 80s till now. I'll keep a flyer or something from that convention. So you go through and you're like, oh, fuck, this artist was at that con back in 92 and I didn't even know it, And so a lot of just reminiscing of stuff like that. And,
but you reminisced on those while you put them in the trash, right?
I know I got stuff I need to put in the trash still. I have put a lot in the trash. And
I'm proud of you.
I brought a poster down. I was going to, oh, no. I brought one from, like all the festivals I ran in the past, like Anime Fest and the steampunk, and I had posters for that Midwest Ren Fest that we ran in Nebraska. So all the posters, like all the friends on it and shit. So I got one the year you did the wedding for Lil and Will down there. And I got the posters. I got like a stack of posters from that. I'm like, God, do I throw those away? They feel like they should be worth something to me.
All but one. You throw all but one away.
Yeah, I know.
And even at that point, dust off that old printer scanner, scan those damn things up, and then chuck them.
That's why I started doing. I started scanning old schedules and stuff because some of those schedules, when we started performing at festivals, it's like, man, I'm going to buy a T-shirt from every festival we perform at. I'm going to get a poster from every one. And if we're in the schedule, like if it mentions our name in the schedule, we're in print. Damn it, I'm keeping that. I got bags of that shit upstairs.
Yeah, so that's stuff that is, like I've said, that's the things where you can sit there and go, all right, is it true? Is it true sentimental value?
Right.
All right. If it's true sentimental value, then you save that and you cherish that. But if it's just something that gives you an occasional, it feels good, but in the intervening 20 years, you forgot it even existed and your life carried on without it, chuck it.
Well, one of the things I did, and I keep telling Christy how these printers save me money all the time. They save me money, damn it.
I know, and I almost bought some more filament as it's saving me money as I'm purchasing more filament. Go ahead.
But like I got toys. I've got tons of toys downstairs I need to sell. Some I have. But I've got some that look cool that I have on display up in my art studio. But some of them it's just like, hey, that's a cool toy that I acquired. I'll put it on display. Now, it's not like I got a thing up there, but I don't have the rest of the Fantastic Four with it. So I put it in a box that gets sold. Because now if I want a thing, I'll print up one that looks way cooler. I'll paint it myself. I'll put it up there. So all these little one-of-a-kind off toys, if they don't have something specific, like they're not from, like Long Shot or something, I'm just getting rid of that stuff. I'm not like getting rid of everything. If you saw all the crap I had, you'd go, yeah, it's a dent in the bucket. But getting rid of a lot.
You know what? It's like the old saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And you got to start with that first bite.
I'm sure it's like we were saying earlier, and I'm sure Kelly can vouch on this because he does a lot of buying and reselling for toys and collectibles. A lot of the stuff that has been valuable, like since that Marvel Renaissance came out, people are losing interest now. A lot of it's not as valuable. You got
to strike when the iron's hot.
I got a bucket of Battle Beasts that a couple of years ago were worth a ton of money. They're not worth quite as much as they were 2 years ago. I got just so much shit like that. Star Wars stuff's not worth as much.
Kelly wants to give you some of your money back.
Kelly's got Ghostbuster shit he can trade me. He's got some cool shit.
For those listening to the audio, Kelly posted up on the chat, you better call me first before you sell.
I'm putting stuff in boxes right now. Not directly below me, but I got a room downstairs that's just collectible stuff to sell. I mean, honestly, I think I got over 50 video game consoles down there. I've got I bought out a Star Wars auction once. All that stuff's down there.
There are companies that for a cut of the profit, you can just come and take the stuff to them. And they will go through, catalog, and put the stuff up online for you.
Yeah, it's a pretty big cut. I've looked into it. Because it's what my kids will have to do if I don't do it. So that's why I'm trying to do question now.
If you don't do it, how much is the cut of zero?
Oh, yeah, no. Most of this crap around my house, I keep going, my kids will inherit this one day. I'm not going to get rid of certain things. Like I went to too much effort to get that damn thing. It's just for me to be happy.
Right.
But there's a lot of mainly a lot of comic books I need to get rid of. And I struggle with that, but I just don't have room for them all anymore. And there's no sense in me hanging on to them. And don't get me wrong, I'll keep most of them, but there's so much. So, I came from that back in the day too, where you bought 2-3 copies of stuff and all that crap, or if you found a valuable one cheap, you went ahead and picked it up because
one you could play with and one you could keep in the box. It's like that. One of the things I'm liking about this, Into the Unknown game that I got is for once, I'm actually getting onto a new game thing when it's new. All right, because when I was doing this Star Trek Attack Wing, they're stopping doing that. All right, so now you just have to go on to the online stuff and see if you can buy the old, stuff that people are selling on eBay, and because of that, stuff that was relatively cheap, they're asking near and dear prices for now. Like I told you, like the DS9 that they had for the Attack Wing, which was granted $100 purchase when it was new. Used now, not even with the box or anything, used, they're going for $500+.
Yeah, it's the thing that's been getting me this week is last couple of weeks, Warhammer and Magic Gathering, because Gabe has gotten into both of those, and I've been finding a lot of my old cards, finding a lot of miniatures and shit, and finding the miniatures. And then I watched Secret Level. Have you seen Secret Level yet?
Never even heard of it.
Okay, so on, I believe it's on Netflix, there is a series called damn it, my mind's going blank now.
Secret Level?
No, it's a different one. He had a different animated series that is just fucking fantastic. And the same people, it's an anthology series. They decided to do one called Secret Level, so it's all these top animators, mostly computer generated stuff, but doing like 10 to 20-minute videos of video games.
Love, Death, and Robots?
Yeah, Love, Death, and Robots. That's what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
So same people are doing Secret Level, and some, like, one's Pac-Man, one's Metro Man, one's, but they did one of Warhammer 40,000. And it was cool enough. I had to call Cookie in the middle of it and go, hey, next time you're with your wife and you can't get your dick hard, put this episode on. The trick. It was fucking awesome. And it makes me want to go out and get stuff, but I can't feasibly pay the money that they're asking for that. Magic cards, I went and bought Magic cards at Christmas for, Gabe and stuff. I'm like, God, I got literally thousands of dollars of Magic cards sitting at home, and I'm debating on spending $70 on a box set here,
yeah. I mean, you should really. I mean, a lot of those older cards, they're worth, as you well know, they're worth money. Just with your phone and put them online.
I did have some of them appraised. Just Chi came into town, did it last year, before he had passed, and
okay, I was going to say, wow, that was difficult.
Yeah, no, he did about $2,000 worth of cards of the ones I had there, and then I've found a bunch more since then. And I need to go through and I need to sell them, or because I've given about 80% of my cards to Gabe already. And these aren't the ones that Chi went through. These are just like extras that I had. But it makes me want to play Warhammer. That's for fucking sure. Hang on. Is that on Netflix?
Yeah, Love, Death, and Robots is on Netflix.
So, but yes, I can't remember where I was getting with that. I wanted to bring up the Secret Level and Warhammer pissing me off thing, but Secret Level.
No. Yeah, like with me building these models, as I've told Jessica and Gannon, I mean, yeah, I spent a lot of time on them. I put a lot of effort into these things. They're pieces of plastic, all right? And they're like, oh, we didn't want to bother you. You're working on your model. I'm like, it's a freaking piece of plastic. Bother me, all right? You are more important than the models, and I'm fully cognizant of it because, like when I'm making new, she's like, well, you're running out of space. Where are you going to put them? I'm like, I'm going to chuck the old ones. She's like, but you did so much. They're pieces of plastic.
You're going to sell the old ones. Because I keep watching people selling kits that,
really?
Oh, man, like crazy. It drives me nuts. Oh, because some of these kits, hell, I was just doing this one right behind me. Boom, boom, boom. I was just doing this one. I just painted this one last week, Scooby-Doo. So I looked up what other people were painting it, because a lot of people did different color schemes. So I went and looked at ones, and people have them for sale up. And like that kit that cost me, I don't know, I probably got $6-7 into this damn thing. And so to me, it's worth $6-7 and whatever time I put into it. People are selling that kit for anywhere from $70 to $120 painted.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, it's
uh,
like I've got that one friend of mine, David. He will sell, put together, like right now he's putting together a Discovery starship that he's selling. He's lighting it. It looks primo.
yeah.
He's really good when it
Once you
comes to
start
the
lighting
lighting.
them and stuff.
Yeah. And this thing is long. I mean, it's got to be like good, almost 4 foot long. All right.
Yeah.
And he's having me on my little resin printer for the clear parts. Those are small enough that for the clear parts, I can do them on the resin printer. So I'm printing those off for him. And I know that he is making a lot of money on those. I'm not going to tell his business, but I know that he is. I mean, he puts the effort in, but he's making some bank on them.
I did go up and see that Galactica at Hobbytown you were talking about.
Oh yeah.
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 And something
The
like
one
that
that they got
cool.
under glass in there?
Huh?
The one that they have under glass there?
Yeah. There's just,
Yeah.
I have no room for stuff like that in here. I say with a full-size Terror Dog right here, but
Hey, but that's important stuff.
yeah, and it's just the head. I mean, it would be ridiculous if it was the whole dog, but just the head. Yeah.
No, that one we would have to do like a bronzing spray and get both of them out front of your house so you could have them, like at a library.
I'm thinking.
And
now.
tell Christy, I'm sorry that I gave you that idea. I tell her I'm sorry.
No, I've been trying to get her for since we bought this house, I've been trying to get her to let me put a bat signal. I got all the stuff for it too. Put a bat signal on top of Gabe's apartment. I just want it so I can turn on at night every once in a while and be that
when it's
guy.
cloudy.
Yeah,
only when it's cloudy.
Just when it's cloudy.
Yeah.
But,
just make sure you point it away from the airport.
Yeah. No, it would just be it wouldn't be that powerful of a light, but it would be cool, gimmicky. Yeah, she don't like it.
Yeah.
And I get it because slowly over the years when we got together, she got to decorate the whole house, and I got one room, which was my comic room.
I got this room, and she's already got a shelf over there. It's the She-Ra shelf with She-Ra stuff on it. All right. So she's already trying to work her way back into the room.
Well, see, what I did is I ended up turning this stuff into my job. So slowly I get, now I got a leather room, and I got a room for all the Ren Fair stuff and our costumes and all that. And I got this room. I got my comic room. And so she's got her office, her sewing room, and the rest. I mean, she gets the rooms that everybody sees when they walk in the house. The rest are pretty much mine now. I mean, they're just full of shit.
Well, this one you got to go through to get in here. You got to go through the front room, the front living room, the dining room, a hallway, another living room, the laundry room, and then you're in here. That's the path you got to take to get back here.
That was me for a long time.
And that's the thing is, like tonight, she's like, "Are you doing Concast tonight?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Okay, I won't turn on the washing machine because that's right there."
Right. See, I always worry about that too with the printers and stuff. But we're 30, 40 minutes into this shit, and we've been just chatting. So let's hit some of this news. And I got three cons I want to talk about. And that should only take a few minutes, but.
All right. So in CES, and keep in mind, today is just I'm only reporting. Hey, nice belly there. I'm only reporting. Yeah, it was. You flashed us with that fish white belly.
I'm glad it was just my gut.
The stuff I'm reporting on is only as of Tuesday at CES. But let me see. The things that struck me. Lenovo, they have the ThinkBook Plus Gen 6. It's the first rollable OLED display on a laptop. All right. It's like a normal laptop. It's like a normal laptop, but when you push it, it's a 14-inch laptop. When you push a button, the screen, goes up and it unrolls an extra couple inches on the bottom. So it goes from a 14-inch Windows laptop to a 16-inch and increases the display surface by 50% just by hitting that one button. It unrolls it. So you remember all those things where they unroll the display in sci-fi and stuff like that?
Yeah.
First one's hitting the market. Lenovo, $3,500 for this laptop. Yeah.
Trying to think what shows I've seen that with. I'll just pull up two rods and it'll be like a display in it or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. This is the beginning. All right. This is a cool one. OnePlus, the phone, OnePlus. I don't know if you know of it. But their new OnePlus 13, this just blew my mind. is IP69 and 68 rated. All right. So what that means is the two things target slightly different use cases. The IP68 rating means that the device can be submerged in water for up to 30 minutes at a depth of 1.5 meters. So about 4.5, 5 foot deep. All right. While the IP69 rating means that it can withstand 80 degrees Celsius, so about 170 plus degree water jets from 4 different directions for up to 30 seconds. One of the things they showed as a demo is they chucked it into a dishwasher.
For 30 seconds, though. I mean, that sounds awesome.
No, they ran the cycle.
Oh, really?
And I've seen where people who are load testing it have chucked it into the laundry. All right, put it in, ran it through a cycle in the laundry, perfectly fine.
Wow.
All right, yeah, these the new and it starts at $8.99 and is available right now straight from Amazon, Best Buy, or the OnePlus website. For that, you get a 12 gigabyte of RAM, 256 gig of storage. However, that only comes in black. For the other colors, you have to pay $9.99. Let's call it $1,000. You have to pay $1,000, so it's $100 more. But you also boot up to 16 gig of RAM and 512 gig of storage on board.
The two things come to mind immediately would be, one is it can last in that hot water for 30 seconds, you said? If you drop it in anything like that.
4 jets with that water. It's not in the water. It's not just submerged in that hot water, although they also show in their little demo thing a chef, dropping it into a thing of soup that's cooking. No, it's 170 degree jets, 4 jets of that hot water hitting it, and it can last up to 30 seconds.
My deal, you drop that in, it's going to take me 30 seconds to find something to dig it out because you're not putting your hand in that shit. So,
no, I mean, but that's the water jets hitting it. So it gives you 30 seconds to shut that off.
The other thing I think of is like, who's that? I'm sure there's a ton of people it'll benefit. What kind of jobs would that benefit? One of the first things I thought of was like your old job on a boat.
Oh, no, dude. I remember one point I had dropped something out of my pocket climbing up the ladder at low tide. So it was a 20-foot climb up at low tide. And it fell, I mean, I could still see it, down like 10 feet underwater. But, like the old saying goes, if you ever drop your keys into a pool of molten lava, just let them go because they're gone, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as you hit that water, you have hypothermia up in Alaska. So just let it go. It's gone.
Roberto, yeah. Yeah. He said OnePlus also has the first silicate carbon battery, 6,000 mAh battery at the
milliamp hours.
And less weight.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, there's also, TCL has come out with their next paper, their next generation of next paper, which is basically an e-ink display. But it is it's basically a full color, watch video, everything e-ink display, their next paper that they have on TCL. I'm looking at it really hard, but I'm staying away from it. Let me see. Another thing that the first thing that blew my mind from CES was Roborock. Just dropped the mic in the robot vacuum market with the Saros Z70 robot vacuum, which features a mechanical arm that will deploy and
pick up that little
obstacles in its path.
I was going to say, pick up that little string.
It can move up to. It can move obstacles under 300 grams or about 8 ounces. The 5-axis arm will initially be limited to socks, small towels, or cloths, tissue papers, and napkins and sandals. But they expect to add more items over time. Basically, what it does is it cleans your floor and identifies those objects that are in the way. All right. So it'll clean your floor, identify those objects, and go around them. And then when it's done cleaning, it will come over and either A, pick up those items and move them from where it hasn't cleaned to where it has cleaned, and then continue its cleaning. Or you can tell it to put those items into a designated area. So if you have like a little box or a hamper, or this area here is where I want you to put crap, it will go ahead and move, those things up to 8 ounces.
And that's cool. They need to make a
So,
lawnmower
like I said,
that.
and it's got a little like doors that open up across the top and an arm that comes out and picks the stuff up. It's I'm like, wow, it's the future. I love
It
it.
sounds like something right off of Futurama. That you just
Yeah,
see.
it is.
Yeah.
All right, then stepping away from CES, I got three other things. One, you know how TikTok is going to be delisted as of the 19th, right?
I've heard this. Yeah.
All right. So for those who don't know, because TikTok had lost their fight in order to not, the U.S. Government had said you got too many ties in to the Chinese government. You Chinese company have too many ties, so you have two choices. Either one, you sell off your U.S. assets and become a U.S. company. Yeah, little stabby. I remember those stories. I love them. And it's actually Lieutenant Stabby. If you ever read any of the fan fiction of Human or Space Orcs fan fiction, Lieutenant Stabby is one of the original classic tropes. But anyways, so they could either sell off their U.S. Portion and become a U.S. company, or they're going to be delisted, where they can no longer be on any of the stores. All right, any of the the Google Play Store or the whatever the Apple Store is.
Right. The app stores.
Yeah. Any of the app stores they cannot be listed on. All
okay,
right?
I didn't realize it was.
So
that's what delisted was. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So I mean, you can still have it on your phone, but you can't get it new anymore. Unless you're going through third party in order to get it, which leads to its own problems if you start doing stuff like that. But anyway, so TikTok is promoting a new service called Lemon 8. So the word lemon and the number 8. A similar platform. It's promoting it as a potential alternative because of the U.S. ban. The app allows TikTok users to transfer directly over with their login. They can transfer over, and it transfers all of their followers over too.
Okay.
All right. So kind of like Facebook, they started Threads, and you could just log straight in, and everything would port over. They're doing this.
Berto says Blusky.
Yeah, Blue Sky membership.
No,
Blue Sky.
27,000%. What? Blue Sky? Blue Sky?
Blue Sky.
Blue Sky.
Blue Sky is is one of the new social networks. I've tried getting into it, but once again, I run into that roadblock that I had getting onto Twitter or X or any of the stuff like that, where I don't care.
Most with that. Even just Facebook, where we're streaming this right now, man, I all these 3D projects that we talk about doing. I think I posted like 3 things I've made, and that's it. I just,
Okay. So anyways, and the thing is that even though that Lemon 8 is the same thing, it's a Chinese-based company. All right. But the thing is that the initial ban that's happening, it listed TikTok specifically. It does not list Lemon 8, so they have to go through a whole thing of notification. So basically, resets the clock for them, and it'll be minimum 9 months to a year before that's also delisted. So that is, I think that's I believe that's what their thought is to go ahead and quick jump over to this, and hopefully everything will blow over kind of crap with the new president coming in.
Oh, okay. You saw Christmas coming on there?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought that's the thing, Kristen. I thought that they did not get their stay. I could be totally wrong.
So she had said the Supreme Court is reviewing the stay on Friday.
I could be wrong, but I thought that that was a not going to happen kind of thing. But hey, ask my wife. I'm wrong all the time. Let's see. Second of the 3 things. 1, Facebook, Instagram, and Threads are replacing third-party fact checkers with community notes program, which is like the same thing that X has, according to announcement by Meta's new policy chief, Joel Chaplin. So that's the reason, like, if you're on Facebook, you're seeing all this stuff now where people are just posting, crap about and testing the boundaries. Basically, it's going instead of having set fact checkers like they were having, it's going to roll over to more like a Wikipedia thing where it's the community that fact checks.
Okay.
So we'll see how that works.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm trying to think if that's a pro or a con or a not. She said, Kristen said, going to be listening to it via a law tuber. I listened to law tuber. So that's just a YouTuber that talks law, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, very niche market. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've watched plenty of law stuff on YouTube. I just didn't know they were called law tubers.
Yeah, I follow a rocket tuber. What about it? Who every SpaceX launch they do live stream for hours on it. So yeah, Felix.
I feel bad. I've been watching a lot of power eating stuff this week in the snow.
Oh, what is that called? What is that called? It's not bukkake. What is that?
But no! I know what you're talking about. Mukbang. No, not
mukbang. Yeah,
stuff like there's a guy. Beard Meats Food that I watch a lot. He's a British eater, competitive eater, and stuff like that. He's just got a good personality. Some of them I don't care for, but it's one of those things that we watch it and then we'll go like, oh, that looks good. Let's make that for lunch, and so it's just one of those things.
Okay, and this last one. Sorry for those who are tired of it, but we're talking AI for this one. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman announced in a blog post on Monday that he's confident in achieving AGI, artificial general intelligence, and predicted AI tools will significantly impact company outputs this year. So he is darn sure that they are capable of AGI this year. And OpenAI's new focus is shifting towards super intelligent tools surpassing human intelligence to accelerate scientific discovery and prosperity. And so that's the big thing right now, is that their new 3.0 is basically AGI. The only thing is that it's also extremely expensive per question in power and resources in order to utilize it. But that's all over time will go down. But yeah, so basically, as we thought this year, according to Sam Altman, they're going to achieve AGI. But the caveat to that is that their charter, I guess you would call it, their charter won't allow them to go to a more for-profit organization, and they're still tied in with Microsoft and stuff like that until they achieve AGI. So Sam Altman might be going, oh, look, it's AGI now. Everybody back off. I can do everything I want now. But other people are going to probably go, not quite AGI. So there's going to be some back and forth on when it comes to definition. But the thing is that things are getting a lot more robust. And as I've often said, I can't wait. I fully expect this year, 2025, to be the year of AI agents, agentic AI.
Okay, Christy and I talk about that a lot with the AI. Just half the commercials that come on are AI generated, and even the people in the commercials are fake. The audio's fake. YouTube videos, things progress so fast, I can't keep up with them, and that's all been mostly in the last year.
Oh yeah.
Next year, as fast as everything has progressed, this next year, I mean, I've gotten AI phone calls trying to buy some of my properties and shit. And and they'll talk with you. Sometimes, most of the time, you can tell by the broken English of it that it's like a generated voice. But
it's just going to get better.
Yeah. Some of them, every once in a while, it'll be like, oh man, I couldn't tell at first, and it scares the hell out of me. But
but the thing that gets me is not necessarily that, it's how people are getting lazy because of it. And like one thing is that I saw somebody streaming how they had gone and the tin of butter biscuits that you get every year at Christmas time.
Yeah.
The butter cookies. Yeah, and yeah, you get them, and then somehow, when you're not looking, they fill up with sewing supplies. I'm not sure how that happens, but somebody was streaming that there was one, and you have, the standard one that's the blue, the standard, Donsk
Yeah.
one, but then you have like the ones that have like a seasonal motif on them and a picture on them.
Yep.
They were showing that this one that had a Christmas themed picture on it. They were like, look at it, and sure enough, AI generated image, and it was crappy, and Santa Claus had too many hands, and there were all kinds of weird artifacts in it. People just got lazy and just said, generate an image, throw it on there, run.
I've been seeing a lot of that
And
lately too. And like I
yeah,
said, a lot of these commercials, a lot of thumbnails for YouTube videos, little stuff where you just like it's I don't know what to compare it to right now, but it's one of those things where it's very recognizable now. Like you can see
oh
something
yeah,
for the most part and go, oh, that's AI. But I get that way and I get grumpy about it. And then new stuff comes out that I'm like, oh, I had no idea that was AI. But then like a month later, oh, now you know how to recognize it. Now that's all AI. You know what I mean? It's like you
it
gotta
is.
constantly be training yourself to recognize it.
It is. I mean, and I'm doing things with it right now. Like I am trying to use it because I hear other people doing it. I'm trying to use AI to create an app. All right. I just want to make a simple little app. I have no idea how to do it. I have absolutely no idea what the hell I'm doing. And so I just went to the AI. I said, I want to build an app. I want something, I want to do it. And it asked me straight up, how much experience do you have? And I'm like, none. I know how to download an app. That's it. And so it's walking me through everything. It's telling me, okay, you want this, you want this. This is the code that you need to run in order to run it. I'm like, okay. And then I put it in, and it gives, if I get an error message, I just copy and paste that error message back and said, okay, it told me this. It's like, oh, okay, this is the problem you're having. Here's how you fix it. Post this one in.
So
And it puts everything there for me. Yeah.
I got a lot of friends
So
doing
my
that.
thing is, yeah.
But what scares me is I watch like on videos and stuff where people talk about, well, we used AI for this, but AI was like entirely wrong about this section of it. Like we tried to get
Oh
AI
yeah.
to do something, and it was like way off base and way uneducated. But me, I would be using AI and going, well, it knows what it's talking about, and I would. Does that make sense? Where I just have this fear of
Oh,
it's going to be fucking wrong, and I'm going to go down this wrong path. So why even use the AI in the first place if there's no fact checking behind it? Does that make sense?
see, that's like my company. After I had made that scope of work thing for my where I used it in order to create scope of works for my projects, they came up with their own, which was all cool, and they had me on the process of doing it and stuff like that. But as I was going through, and and the other individuals were going through and testing it and doing some alpha testing, it wasn't even beta testing, it was alpha testing. Um, I would go through and I was like, okay, it with confidence, it told me this, and that's completely wrong. All right, or this, it made this completely up. Like I asked it, how high should the grass be in the compounds? All right, and I know according to our documentation, it just says keep it cut. That's all. But in the thing, it came back, it should only be this many inches high, and that completely made that crap up. All right. So one of the things I told them is one of my requests was, okay, it's great. It's putting this together. I want it to give me documentation. I want it to annotate. Okay, I got this from this resource.
Cite,
All
yeah,
right,
cite your
and
sources.
the one, and that's what this does now is the one that they generated for our company. It'll cite its sources because I want to be able, if it tells me I need to, have a 3/8 inch, safety climb going up. Where did you get 3/8 inch from? Oh, it's from here. Let me click and make sure that's, in the construction guidelines, the right size.
Yeah, see that I like
Stuff
that
like
because
that.
you don't have to fact check everything. Like it
Well,
feels like
if you
you
want to fact check, you're not fact checking from zero. You're actually going in and looking where it pulled it from.
Yeah, I get you that. Well, and even if it didn't
Yeah.
have that source, at least it'd make it easier to fact check it, and it'd be easier than you just doing the research yourself, I'm sure. But
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It just
And see, and that's one of the things with this latest, the high level models that people are paying a lot of money per month to utilize. Um, is those models, those LLM models will fact check themselves, and that's one of the reasons that it's so intensive in in energy and in resources to use them, is because as it generates what you say, okay, I want such and such, and as it generates it, then it will go through and spin off another LLM and say, okay, is this right? And it will look at it and go, okay, no, that's completely ass. All right. And it will do that multiple times until it agrees, until they all agree, okay, you've put out, and it's cut down the amount of hallucinations or wrong answers greatly.
Hallucination.
But anyway, yeah. Yeah, that's what they call it, is, when they're hallucinating information.
Oh, I thought you just made that up. They actually call it that. Shit.
Oh, no, yeah. I'm not smart enough to think of that crap.
All right, I'm going to hit through a couple of these things because we're getting on in time.
Oh, yeah, we're at hour 5. Yeah.
I was going to talk about Creature Commandos because I finally watched that this week, but I will save that.
What is that?
This is the new DCEU. So, James Gunn took over all the DC movies, and this is pretty much it's hard to say now. It's supposed to be the third thing we're getting from the official new DC universe, but they're kind of retconning some of the old stuff in with Creature Commandos and everything else. So it's hard to know exactly what it is, but because of that, like anything James Gunn's worked on before, Peacemaker, the Suicide Squad, that kind of stuff, it's all still part of the new DC movies. So a lot of people think that new Superman trailer we just watched on the last podcast was the first of it. It technically started back when James Gunn got into Suicide Squad. So even though some of those characters are part of the old DC, some of them are going to be part of the new movies. A little confusing, but Creature Commandos nailed it down with some of them. Like the Peacemaker is going to be there. All that happened in this universe. But DC's made a whole bunch of new announcements this week. They announced partially with the Creature Commandos, but also that they have already got their Flash storyline that will be part of their Chapter 2, kind of like how Marvel did phases.
Right.
Phase 1, 2, 3. They're doing chapters. So in Chapter 2, we'll get that, but we're getting a ton of Superman shit. They announced the only thing we're going to be getting soon would be the new Superman movie. And then in 2026, we'll get like the Supergirl movie. They're going to be doing a new Batman movie. All the new, just fucking new characters left and right. The Green Lantern TV show. They did announce casting on some of the Batman characters. The big one that they announced, which we talked about this well over a year ago, was that they had hired Jason Momoa for Lobo, and they officially released that this week.
Right.
So everybody,
but we all knew that. I mean, hell, he did that video with
it. Was like, yeah, we knew it was coming. How could you not do it? And that video that Jason Momoa put out when he got the call, he's like, it's a special character. I can't say all that. It was so obvious. But there will be a ton of new, and they're still making them now, new DC announcements. So next week, I'll get a list of all the announcements, all the actors. We will go over that. There are 3 cons I want to talk about, though, today.
Oh, yes.
One would be coming up here. We got the first annual Kansas Comic-Con in Wichita, which is the one I have mixed feelings on because it is one of the larger conventions that travels around from state to state, and they're able to bring in a lot of guests. They can either help a convention community grow or they can entirely kill one. So I'm really hoping they're the grow kind. But they have announced.
Yeah, same here. Yeah. What day is that one on?
That one is March 15th and 16th, and that will be at Century 2. Same place that ICT Comic Con's at. Number of conventions around here or there.
Okay.
They just announced.
What's the name of that con?
Kansas Comic Con. And I believe I'd sent you because they announced new Star Trek guests right before Christmas. They've got.
Yeah. I saw they had like Gates McFadden and stuff on there.
Yeah, and they had announced Jimmy Hart, and then January 1st they announced Jim Cummings, the voice actor, who's done fucking everything. Winnie the Pooh. He was Pete and about every villain in Disney cartoons. So they've got a fucking awesome lineup coming up. I know you and I are both planning on being at that one. But
yeah, I just put it onto our Concast calendar.
They're still announcing guests left and right. BusterCon, we had the director of BusterCon on here last year. That is in Garden City, Kansas.
Yeah.
They're doing their second annual convention. I talked to him at one of the recent cons here. I'm set up to be there. He's still looking for people. Like, I'm going to try to get the Ghostbuster group to come up there. Yeah.
Well, what day is that?
That is February 15th. It's a one-day convention. It's on campus at Garden City Community College or Community College, whatever their college is there. I can't remember the name of it. Buster something.
BusterCon. Okay, for the one day, and we will throw that under Concast.
Okay.
And that is at Garden City?
Garden City. And they're making some more announcements, bringing in some more stuff. Andrew McGee, buddy of ours, he's going to be going down there and doing demos and videography stuff for him. So I just want to put that out there because we'll probably get somebody from BusterCon on here chatting about it here pretty soon.
Okay.
And then Gateway Pirate Fest. I know that one's in St. Louis. It's not local to here, but it is the next thing I've got coming up. It is January 25th this year.
January 25th.
Yeah. It's
25th?
25th.
That's a Tuesday.
No way. Did I get my I may have written down the wrong date on that one. It's the end of the month of January. Let me get that because usually
that would be like the 22nd.
Maybe. Normally the Jake that runs that con chimes in here every once in a while. So Jake, if you watch this, correct it in chat. I will double check that one.
What is it called? Gateway Con?
Gateway Pirate Fest. Because there's a number of Gateway conventions and stuff too. But this is Gateway Pirate Fest. I think they've got 5 bands lined up for the one day.
They say January 25th.
That's what I got.
Yeah, that's the middle of the week, dude. That's a Tuesday.
That's a weird one. I'm going to have to double check that because they also have they do stuff at the Steampunk Brew Works down there a lot too. So they do little mini shows down there to promote the big show. So I was a little worried that I might have written down the wrong date on that, but I'll get old Jake and make sure that we have that lined up.
According to, hold on, why you do that?
Because that's one. If you do Ren fairs in the Midwest, they've got groups from just about every major Ren fair, even some of the smaller ones in the Midwest, and then a lot of the other people working on it are all people like entertainment directors and held directors of other conventions. Last year when I emceed that one, I was working with an entertainment director, a king, a performer, and me, and we were all doing our bits. And then I think we had 10 bands at that one. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it might have been 8 bands. I'd have to do it in my head, but that was the big goodbye show for Musical Blades last year.
Right, I remember that. That was an emotional and well received festival last year.
Cool show.
That's the reason I'm just wondering because that's a bar show.
Yes,
I mean, in all intents and purposes, that's a bar show, and on a Tuesday.
Yeah, it's a good sized bar. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, not being on a Tuesday just threw me now. So
I did a quick search, and everything I'm pulling up says it's going to be on. Yeah, here on their Facebook page, here's the weird thing. On their Facebook page, it says Saturday, January 25th. It was my
calendar off.
I had it on January.
You got it on 2025?
What the hell? Was I in 2024?
Because
I could have been an idiot.
Loop.
No. Hope I didn't go to 2026.
You've been putting all the wrong dates. That's been my other thing this week is trying to get dates done for all the shows this year and get everything out to the guys and it sucks because you have definite shows, then you have maybe shows, and getting those maybe shows in the calendar.
I messed up. I put it for February.
Okay. Yeah,
my bad, everybody. My bad.
I did go backwards. I went March, February, January.
Yeah, that was my bad.
I figured I'd go with the newest one last, because if anybody's wanting to go to that one, you got to start getting your Airbnbs booked and hotels and all that stuff. Because last year it was pretty full. Granted, it was 2 days, but it was hell. It was standing room only for most of us, and we were performers. So anyhow, so that's mainly what I had. I want to make sure I talked about those. Those conventions coming up, because those are the next 3 that we are going to be for sure at, and then there's a ton of others that are maybes, and we'll chat about them.
As much as possible, I want to try to get all those chalked up onto the calendar, so we'll know what's going on.
Another cool thing I worked on this week, I didn't show you. I need to email you. I worked on trophies this week, and one of them I did. We talked about doing the modeling contest for TsunamiCon.
Right.
Yeah, I did a trophy for that.
You did?
Yeah, I took a trophy model that somebody else had made, and they had even made one with some tentacles on it, but they were just like smooth cylinders. So I'm putting tentacles around this trophy because their mascot is an octopus. So it's a trophy with a 20-sided die with tentacles coming around. I thought it'd be pretty cool. And then I did a new trophy for Big River Steampunk and one for a post-apocalyptic. And because I can just 3D print that stuff now, and I can have the file all ready. I can even send the file to one of my friends in whatever place we're going to print it up. So I took that time this week to try to get some of that going. Oh, and I did one for the smoker too. Trophy for the smoker, kind of a St. Pauli's girl-esque kind of thing.
Nice.
So
that I can't wait to see those. Those are going to be cool looking.
Yeah, because I'm hoping. Right now, and I just got a text, I think while this was going on, I keep looking at my phone. We're with the smoker here in Wichita. Every show we're trying to get a new person in, where we pay part of the performing fee and the festival does, and then they come and do our show. I talked to Mikey Mason about it at TsunamiCon, and he just said he was available for the smoker this year. And I think he means spring. So chances are we'll get Mikey Mason down for a smoker for one of the shows this year. So
that'll be cool.
So
I'm trying to look. I thought I saw here recently that one of the STL sites that I go to, either Maker World or Maker Online or Cult 3D or whatever, I thought they had a contest. One of their contests that they run was trophies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But, of course, I can't frickin' find it. Oh, here it is. It was on cults3d.com. They had a contest for trophies and medals 3D printing contest.
See, I don't know that the stuff I'm making would, and I've wondered about this too. The I don't want to say legalities, because like all the time when we do T-shirts or posters for festivals, we got to be real careful not to use copyrighted material.
And these normally, you can look and see with them what their what do they call it, Creative Commons or whatever the that is. But most of these, especially the ones in these contests, they're free to download and use as long as you're not doing them for profit.
Yeah. Well, now it makes you, because some of the festivals I have a financial interest in. I get paid to put that stuff together, so some of them I don't. So it makes you wonder, but also everything I've been doing, it's kind of like clip arty. It's like I'm taking the girl from this print, I'm taking her off of that, I'm scaling her down, I'm taking the base off of this print, and I'm popping some gears on it, and that's the you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I'm taking other people's designs, putting them together, and making. But that's just because that's where my skill set is right now. I am not advanced enough to design my own as much as just
me. The most I am advanced towards right now is just making those kit cards. That's the epitome of my skill right now, is doing kit cards. It's.
I printed my first kit card last night, which was a.
Oh, what'd you make?
It was a steampunk fidget spinner, and I thought it would be a good thing to give out at some of the steampunk festivals we do to kids. And I printed it, and then I gave it to my granddaughter, and I said, try it out because I want it to be where I didn't have to explain it or anything, something simple.
Yeah.
And you have to glue the damn thing together.
Oh,
I was so disappointed.
With the spaceship ones that I hand out,
Yeah, they just
even those, as easy as they are, they won't stay. A lot of them won't stay together unless you put a little dab of glue on. For more than just a little play around, it won't stay together. And I remember at one point, because there was one kid at the last festival that we went to that we were handing them out at. This one kid, he grabbed one of each one and was building each of the ships, but he was constantly walking back over and looking at the little display ones that I had put together so he could see how things. So they're even the simple ones are not necessarily self-explanatory.
See, and that's the kind of thing, just like you're saying, like I bet if you kept walking back, was it like a vendor kid? Do you know?
He may have been. I think he was associated with the booth.
Because we get that a lot. We get vendor kids all the time at events, and I'd like to have something like that where I could, like give something for that kid to go do or play with, or just have a bunch in my pouch. And like a lot of the festivals will have us like give out ribbons or different things, but a lot of times, there's always going to be that kid that just having that piece of candy or that thing, like
that
like
little doodad, that little Chotsky.
Yeah, a little Chotsky, but stuff I could do with. I think of that all the time with Biggins Bubbles, if you remember that. Did you? Okay, so
I never went to that section of Pornhub. No.
Well, that's so. I had made a fox face bag for Biggin that had like a red fox face on it, and he wore
I remember
a sporran. And what he did, and it was a brilliant thing. He filled it up with clear glass marbles, and then he would go to the festival and blow little bubbles, and he'd tell the kids pick out a bubble, and then he'd grab that bubble. And he'd already have palmed a glass marble in his hand. He'd squeeze it, have them blow on it, make a wish. Then they'd have a marble. He'd give them the marble, and the kids just loved it.
That is cool.
Until the kids started figuring out over a few fairs that he kept marbles in his sporran down there. Yeah. So all the time you'd have kids coming up and grabbing for his balls, like literally. So we had to ditch that whole thing, but it was a really cool thing he used to do. But that, and then one time we were in St. Louis, and we were on that little deck in front of the ship performing, and he did a jump. I think he was dying from being Darth Vader or something. He did a jump
back when he had knees.
Yeah, back when he had knees. So this was a while back. That bag of marbles went boom.
Oh,
took him down. Took him down on stage. And then, of course, we laugh about it because you got an audience there, and you still you're like, "Are you okay, man?" Keep lighthearted, but Biggin.
Yeah.
To him, that's not it's like motherfuckers could have came and helped me out, But it was the end of the show, and we just got through the show. And,
we're gonna make fun of you.
Yeah. It's like when Bean got hit in the balls with that dodgeball. You heard that one too?
I think so, yeah.
I got that one on video. We were filming a dodgeball tournament for Heavy Pork. We're doing an interview. He's filming the girl he's interviewing. I'm filming him interviewing her. And a random dodgeball flies out of nowhere while he's looking through a camera, nails him right in the nutsack, and takes him down hard. And he went down in a way he was trying to hold the camera so it didn't get damaged. And he was miserable, and we filmed it. Of course, everybody's laughing. We got to make sure. We ended up taking him to a my mind's going blank. They do the needles.
Witch doctor?
No.
Acupuncturist.
Acupuncturist. Yeah. And they came up and they put a needle through his ear, and it killed the pain instantly. So we got all that on tape, but what do you do with it? They didn't run it on Heavy Pork, but we thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, so. That is hilarious. No, but anyways, the having that as a Chotsky stuff that and I think at that last convention, I probably brought like 300-400 of those little card kits.
Holy crap.
And they were, but literally, we had like some other people that were, vendors there coming up going, this is where everybody's getting those things from. And if you do it right, if you make them small enough and do them right, with those little ones that I make, I can get 100 of those out of one spool of filament.
But you say
So
you did 300 or 400, so that's 40 bucks.
It is. But you know what? People were happy.
Yeah, no, I saw him.
Yeah.
Alberto says just cut it off.
No more pain at all.
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes that's somebody's best friend.
Yeah. And there, Alberto, there's a difference between losing your foot. Well, I can't refer to that as a foot, but you know what I mean. It's that.
It smelled like one.
Yeah. I've used that Jimmy Carr line on stage. My brother loves it. Where I go, I might not have a big dick, but it smells like one. Oh, and people, right? They gotta sit and think about it for a minute. But yeah, we should probably hop off. We've gone over talking about a bunch of
everything.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
We'll have
good jibber jabber. It's what we do.
Jabber. It's nice seeing you. Merry Christmas, by the way.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah.
Hey, have we turned on the heat in the winery?
Yeah. Oh, I've had it on for a little while.
Thank you. Yeah.
And I even went and bought a heater for the garage next door as well that I'm going to be hooking up this week. I would have hooked up by now.
That's going to be expensive.
Fucking cold. Yeah. No, the boys are going to help me because if I heat the garage, they live above the garage.
Oh, that'll help them.
Their heat bill. So if I
shutting those garage doors would help.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Then Gabe was talking about it, and I said, "Well, you go out and shut all the garage doors because they get in my garage and leave the doors open." So I said, "Shut the doors." A week later, he still had not shut the doors all the way. So I said, "I can't put that heater in until the doors get shut." And then I went out there and did it.
Yeah.
But not that I'm complaining. Gabe does a lot of shit around here.
They're good kids.
Yes,
is Diego still living there?
Yeah. Matter of fact,
good.
Just help push him out of the drive. He went to work tonight to deliver and couldn't even make it out of the drive with the car. So I'm a little nervous about that, but it is what it is.
Jessica's using Gannon's Jeep Cherokee Sport because it's got 4-wheel drive. I mean, the heater doesn't work so well in it, but it goes.
See, we had a little rough time for Christmas. Christy got real sick, and 2 of our main cars broke down. So we've got a Jeep Commander with a lift and new tires and all this stuff. Great, perfect vehicle for this weather. And it went down right before Christmas, and I haven't gone out to fix it yet. So,
get to it tomorrow because we're going to have more snow on Thursday, Friday.
No, because I can just stay at home because I
We're going to be stocking up again tomorrow as well on the groceries because because we're supposed to get anywhere up to 3 inches again and with some ice on it too. So we're just staying home.
See, I'm in hog heaven here because like Christy we knew the storm was coming in, so she went and did like a big pot of gumbo, a big pot of chili, all these little favorite things and. So,
Jessica did the potato soup with the bacon in it and all this stuff. It was good stuff.
Yeah, she's been doing a lot of that. So we have been just constantly ham and beans, gumbo, potato sausage cheese soup, and
sausage. That sounds good in there.
Oh yeah, you put little bits of sausage. She'll fry it up.
What kind of sausage? Like an Italian or like a kielbasa? What are you using?
She's using a
breakfast sausage.
I think it's just like an Italian sausage, to be honest. It's the same thing, little just links that we cut up and put in breakfast fucking.
Oh, so it's like a breakfast sausage.
Melt. Yeah. Well, it's not a breakfast sausage. Same.
Well, it's all good. It's all good.
Like an Italian sausage. Yeah. I don't know what kind it is, but
you're making a fat man hungry here.
I sit around, I eat, I work on stuff here at home, and I clean. It's almost like vacation, but I'm at home. So
it's a staycation. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
So,
all right, man.
Anyways, we're gonna say goodbye, everybody.
All right, hugs and kisses, everybody. We will catch you later
next week.
Yeah, night.
All right, bye. And we're stopped.